Oxytocin doesn't just foster love, it actively dampens your brain's threat assessment circuits, making you uniquely trusting and less critical of those within your perceived inner circle, even when glaring flaws scream for attention. It creates a neurochemical blind spot, not a feeling, but a fundamental alteration in how your mind processes danger signs. You're not just choosing to ignore red flags, your biology is actively obscuring them. What you're about to understand is the surprising neuroscientific mechanism through which a powerful bonding hormone can paradoxically become a major liability in discerning true character. We will uncover how oxytocin, often called the love hormone, actually biases your perception, creating an in-group favoritism that suppresses your natural critical faculties. At its core, oxytocin is a neuropeptide and hormone produced in the hypothalamus and released by the pituitary gland. Its primary role, evolutionarily speaking, is to facilitate social bonding. Think about a mother and her newborn, or two individuals forming a close attachment. Oxytocin surges in these moments, promoting feelings of connection, empathy, and trust. But here's the crucial twist. This trust isn't universally applied. Its beneficial effects are largely confined to those we perceive as part of our group. It's like a chemical spotlight, intensifying positive feelings and trust for those we deem safe, while potentially increasing suspicion of everyone else. Consider the seminal work by Karsten DeDrew and his team in 2011, which showed that oxytocin directly increases in-group favoritism and out-group derogation. In their experiments, participants who received oxytocin nasal spray were more likely to show trust and cooperation towards people identified as members of their own group, while simultaneously exhibiting less trust towards those identified as outsiders. This isn't just about feeling good, it's about a fundamental shift in who your brain is willing to extend its vulnerability to. Imagine your brain as a highly sophisticated security system. When oxytocin is flowing, it essentially flips a switch that says, lower defenses for these specific individuals. It's an implicit, unconscious directive. This means that information, observations, and even direct evidence of potential harm from someone you're bonded with get processed through a filter of predisposed acceptance. You're not consciously choosing to be naive. Your brain's default setting for that person has been rewired for lowered vigilance. If you're finding this unraveling of oxytocin's less benevolent side fascinating, and you want to ensure more people discover how deeply our biology shapes our choices, please consider taking a moment right now to comment on this specific mechanism below, and subscribe if you haven't already. It truly helps signal to the platform that these deep dives into human behavior matter, allowing us to keep uncovering the scientific truths behind why we think and act the way we do. Now, back to how this chemical literally changes your mind. This in-group bias isn't just about trust, it's about a selective attenuation of critical thinking. When oxytocin is active, the neural pathways involved in fear detection, particularly within the amygdala, can become less responsive to threats emanating from in-group members. This isn't a simple oversight, it's an active suppression. This means that your internal alarm system, which would normally blare at inconsistencies or questionable behavior, might instead offer a gentle hum or even silence itself completely when faced with a partner under oxytocin's influence. And that brings us to the astonishing revelation of its true power. This mechanism manifests in your relationships with terrifying precision. You meet someone, the connection feels instant, electric. The oxytocin surge begins, cementing that bond. Suddenly, the little voice that used to question inconsistencies, the nagging feeling about a conflicting story, or the subtle unease about a dismissive comment begins to fade. Before, you might have thought, that's odd, they said one thing then did another. Now, under oxytocin's sway, your brain constructs a charitable interpretation. They must have been stressed, or I probably misunderstood. The red flag doesn't just get ignored, it gets reinterpreted as green. Think of it like this. Your brain normally employs a highly effective lie detector and threat scanner, but when oxytocin is high and directed at a romantic partner, it's as if that detector's sensitivity is drastically reduced, almost as if you're willingly accepting the fuzzy reading. Imagine someone who consistently shows up late, not just 5 minutes, but an hour, with flimsy excuses. The old you would have seen this as disrespectful, a clear indication of a lack of consideration, but the oxytocin-influenced you perceives it differently. That internal scanner whispers, they're just busy, or their schedule is complicated, or even, oh, they must really need me to be patient. The underlying pattern of disrespect is obscured, replaced by a narrative of understanding and forgiveness, solely because this person is now part of your cherished in-group. Research by Sheely and colleagues in 2013 illustrated how oxytocin can modulate activity in the brain's reward circuitry. This means that positive interactions, even small ones, can be amplified, strengthening the bond while potentially overshadowing negative ones. It's a feedback loop. The more bonded you feel, the more oxytocin flows, the more positive your interpretation of their actions, the more those subtle warnings from your gut are dismissed. It's not a character flaw, it's a neurochemical override. You genuinely believe the excuses. You truly rationalize the inconsistencies. Your neural pathways for threat assessment have been temporarily reconfigured, selectively blind to danger from this one specific source. This isn't just about ignoring red flags, it's about not even perceiving them as red in the first place. This revelation changes everything because it means you aren't simply making bad choices, you're operating with compromised internal warning systems. Recognizing this powerful, unconscious bias means you can start to counter it. Here are 3 specific ways to apply this knowledge and regain your critical judgment. First, implement a cooling-off period for significant relationship decisions. When emotions run high, especially after an intensely bonding experience, a wonderful date, a deep conversation, or a moment of shared vulnerability, your oxytocin levels are likely elevated. This is precisely when your threat assessment is compromised. Never make snap judgments about a partner's character or dismiss significant concerns during these periods. Instead, give yourself 24 to 48 hours to process observations and feelings. Step away, engage in a solo activity, and allow your brain chemistry to renormalize. Then, revisit any concerning behaviors with a clearer, less biased perspective. The expected outcome is a more objective evaluation, free from the immediate neurochemical influence. Second, cultivate a trusted outside counsel for relationship evaluations. Because oxytocin creates an in-group bias, seeking advice from someone outside the direct romantic dynamic is crucial. This could be a close friend, a family member, or even a therapist, someone who cares about you but isn't directly impacted by the oxytocin surge in your relationship. Present them with observed behaviors, not just your feelings. For example, instead of saying, "I feel like they're a good person," describe specific instances. "They told me they were working late, but their friend mentioned seeing them somewhere else." Their unbiased perspective, unclouded by your neurochemistry, can help you identify legitimate red flags that your own brain is filtering out. The expected outcome here is an external reality check, providing an objective mirror to behaviors you might be rationalizing. Third, practice pattern recognition, not isolated incident analysis. The oxytocin blind spot often makes us view each problematic behavior as a standalone event rather than part of a larger, concerning pattern. Keep a mental or even a discrete physical log of inconsistent statements, broken promises, or dismissive actions. Don't label them or judge them in the moment, simply note them down. Then, periodically review these observations as a collection. This externalizes the data, allowing you to see if a genuine pattern of untrustworthiness or disrespect is emerging, circumventing the brain's natural tendency to smooth over individual transgressions within a bonded relationship. The expected outcome is a cumulative understanding of a partner's true behavioral tendencies, making it much harder for your brain to construct a benevolent narrative around consistent red flags. Understanding this isn't about becoming cynical, it's about becoming cognitively empowered. You now see that the intense pull, the unquestioning faith you might have felt for someone, wasn't just a sign of deep love. It was also a neurochemical state that profoundly altered your ability to assess risk. You recognize that the blind spot for red flags isn't a moral failing, but a biological one, a byproduct of an ancient bonding mechanism. This means you're not stupid for missing obvious signs, you were neurologically predisposed to overlook them. What specific relational blind spot, large or small, have you now identified in your past? If this explanation illuminated a forgotten truth for you, please like this video so you can easily find this precise understanding again the next time you encounter this complex pattern in yourself or someone you care about. The human brain is a marvel of evolutionary adaptation, but its very design can sometimes work against us in the modern world. To truly navigate the complexities of human connection, to unlock the hidden mechanisms behind our most profound choices, and to master the intricate dance of mind and emotion, continue this journey of discovery by subscribing right now. You won't want to miss the next profound revelation we're uncovering.